In case you haven't heard, there was something being thrown, and it wasn't leather. It was words between Carla Esparza, the former strawweight champion for both the UFC and Invicta FC, and the former World Series of Fighting strawweight champion Jessica Aguilar. Now, the whole thing started when Carla Esparza jumped on her Twitter and Instagram accounts and put out a poll to all of her fans. The first fighter to accept the challenge that Carla put out was Karolina Kowalkiewicz, one of the Polish fighters in the UFC strawweight division. But then Jessica Aguilar, or Jag as they call her, caught wind of this and threw the gauntlet down. Now, Esparza is not one to back down from a fight, so of course she accepted the challenge. Esparza and Aguilar kind of have some history, which dates back to 2011 at Bellator 46. Jessica actually took a split decision win over Esparza. Since the call went out, Carla Esparza has received an overwhelming amount of responses from her fans, both on Twitter and Instagram. Here's the breakdown of some of the proposed opponents. Now, let me preface this by saying some of the picks are great and, honestly genuine. Claudia Gadelha is already slated to coach against Joanna Jędrzejczyk for the upcoming Ultimate Fighter Tough 23 season and the subsequent long-awaited rematch fight for the finale. I'll be doing a 2-minute breakdown on that fight, so be on the lookout for that. Now, the suggestions were nearly endless. Even John Jones got a vote, as did the retired legend Megumi Mega Magoo Fuji. Some of them were obviously not serious, like the guy who suggested Grover. A puppet? Really? Or maybe they were talking about the person whose hand is inside of Grover. So they want Carla to fight the hand of a puppeteer? That's just weird. One person suggested Secretary of State and Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton. This one I don't get at all. I mean, they're not even in the UFC. There were even votes for an entirely different weight division. Ashley Evans Smith. Even the bantamweight champion Holly Holm. Heck, even Conor McGregor got a vote. Then again, so did CM Punk and Dana White. Then there's the one that just said, the new Hawaiian girl. I'm assuming they're referring to Courtney Casey, but then again, Caitlin Curran is also from Hawaii, so not too sure who they're referring to on that one. Now, in all of this madness and creative suggestions, there were some very legitimate matchups suggested that scored a good number of votes with her fans, some of which included Michelle Waterson, Joanne Calderwood, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Jessica Aguilar, Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Even Valerie Letourneau scored a high number of votes, but there were 3 breakout suggested matchups that fans overwhelmingly want to see locked in the cage with the Cookie Monster. Rose Namajunas. Now, Rose is who Carla beat to gain the UFC strawweight title at the finale for the Tough 20 season. Randa Marcos. Randa Marcos. There is some bad blood between these two. Just Google Randa Marcos versus Carla Esparza to see their war of words being hurled at each other during the Tough Talk. But of all the suggestions, the #1 fighter that the fans really want to see her locked in the cage with, fighter, or should I say gun, they call her 12-gauge Paige. That's right, Paige Van Zant. That would be a good fight for a number of reasons. 1, they've never fought. 2, they're both scrappy, and they're both coming off a loss, so they're looking for that win. Who I personally would like to see her fight, someone she hasn't fought before. My pick would either be Michelle Waterson or Valerie Letourneau, because I think they're both kind of at that level, where they would give Carla a really good fight. Now, unfortunately, Michelle Waterson is out with a knee injury. I actually haven't heard when she'll return. So my replacement pick, other than her, would be Paige Van Zant. So who will the UFC give Carla Esparza to fight upon her return? As much as I know about the UFC and Dana White, it's definitely going to be someone the fans want to see. Who would you like to see Carla Esparza fight? If you have a suggestion, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. I am D. Allen, and as always, Thanks again for watching Women Throwing Leather. Don't forget to subscribe and share. You guys are awesome.